Hello and welcome to my cultural influence video. To start off, I want to mention one of my folklore culture influences, which is something that I have worn since I was little. It is called an escapulario, which is some sort of necklace that we wear since we are little, and it basically is blessed with holy water, and it has like designs with different religious images. These are important because they symbolize part of our religion, and mostly symbolizes some of the craftsmanship that we have over there from Mexico. And they come in different colors, and they're all handmade. Usually people, when they ask, I tell them what it is in a short story because they've never seen it. It is very close to home since it goes back to our normal religious beliefs. Another popular culture is anime, which is a Japanese style of animations, and basically it holds a lot of core stories and morals that could be seen in literature and books. These are based on comics, and they have influenced my life and my way of thinking, and I have fallen in love with these. They are very close to me and to watching them. Now, manga is similar to some of the American sort of comics, such as like DC comics or Marvel comics. They are also based on templates and based on different panels, and they all share different stories. And then these, if they are popular enough, then become to go into studios and be filmed into animated versions called anime, and they are all from Japan. Okay, this is another folklore cultural influence, and these are called servilletas, and son parte de la costura, or in other words, it's handmade, and these are used for like tablecloths, and they're also used for where we put in the servilletero, where it's like where we put tortillas. It's a round container. So these are what we start off with. Usually my mother has always told me that the patterns that we put on them usually represent like peacefulness. That's why most of them usually have flowers. They start off with roses because it symbolizes a natural and peaceful design, and it is something that has been in our culture since as long as I could remember. Here's an example of what I was saying. So the wooden circle is called an aro, and we put the cloth on top of it, and what we do is that you then start with the needle making the design little by little. It is a long process, and this goes back to our culture in Mexico, where this would often be used for tables and various things such as fiestas. So this is a food in Chili's, which is a restaurant, and it is mostly Texan. It came from Texas, and I currently like the food there more than other foods from my folk pop culture. And my parents don't. They are not yet assimilated to this type of culture because it is nothing like the ones we are accustomed to. So another example of a popular culture is this pasta that is from Chili's too. It goes under the same category as the previous one. It has basically defined me because back then we weren't making pasta too often at our home until my mom started tried it for the first time, and now it has been in our home for quite a few years. Another folk influence is La Virgen de Guadalupe, which is in this case a statue that we have at home. It is made out of ceramic, and it represents Virgin Mary, although La Virgen de Guadalupe is mostly termed for Mexican and Mexican Americans. It has a symbolic meaning to us because of a story that surrounds it and a special place where it's worshipped. The ceramic statue of the Virgen de Guadalupe in our living room basically represents Another way of saying that she is still here with us, present, no matter where we are, and protecting us. And this is the Basilica. It is in Mexico City, and my whole family has been there. Unfortunately, I have not been there, but the fact that we have a ceramic statue in our living room is almost as if she is always there. Another pop culture that has influenced me is K-pop or K-music. This right here is a band that I started hearing 2 years back, and mostly I have 25% of my playlists are based on K-pop and Korean songs. In addition to K-pop, I'm also into K-dramas. The reason why all of these have shaped who I am is because usually I met new friends because of this. We have new conversations relating to either new music or new drama series that came out, and we talk about different aspects of what the story is about or what the song is about. Okay, so talking about another popular culture influence is basketball. I am a really big fan of basketball. Some of my friends play basketball. I like basketball for many reasons. It has shaped who I am since I like the fact that it requires teamwork and dedication. And the basketball has been all around me. I have one at home. I practice with friends. It is very meaningful to me. Okay, these are some bonuses. Okay, so flan is part of our folk culture, although because it is widely known now and it could be bought anywhere in most restaurants, it can also be classified as pop culture. Even though in many other countries it is not, they don't know how exactly to make it, but they could buy it, so it's a mix of both. So to me, el flan is a dessert that I have that is very close to home, mostly because my sister, in fact, knows how to make them. It is really hard to make. Anybody could try to do it, although the procedure is hard and sometimes it does not come out as planned. There is a lot to it, and it takes hours of work to prepare them. Here are some tamales. This holds both a folk and popular culture because of the reason that my mom makes them in a very certain way compared to other places, although anyone else could buy their own version of a generic and produced tamal without the same symbolic value. So it is both popular and folk culture. So these are a popular example of tamales. These are from Trader Joe's, and they are chicken and cheese tamales, which are quite unfamiliar to me. I've never heard of them. Although the traditional tamales that come from my mom's side have always been around in our family for, I would say, years, like decades, because before I was born, it was the same recipe, and after a couple years, it is still the same. Thank you very much, and I hope you learned more about my culture and the various things that have shaped me and are all around me to this day. And you learned a little bit more of my Mexican culture and the different customs that we're used to from where we come from.